So what is your personal brand? Well, your brand is almost from a standpoint of when you walk out of the room and someone says, who was that? And the person said, that's Erica. Yeah, she heads up talent acquisition and they talk about you and either positively or negatively based on your personal brand. So in other words, what people think of you when you're not in the room. So what do you want to be known for? Right now, a lot of us are working from home. A lot of you are in between stages, trying to reflect on what you want to do next. So it's time for self-reflection, right? What is it that you bring to the table? What is your value? What is your unique selling point? Well, how do you determine these things? Well, there's different ways. First of all, awareness. So being aware from a standpoint of what do you think your strengths are? Not just what you learned in school or what you've done previously, but where do you think that you've truly added value for a company previously? All right. When people talk about you, do they say that person is really strong in X? We want to bring that person on our team because they can bring this value to the table. So that's what I mean by your strengths. Okay, so awareness is not only what you think of yourself, but also what other people are thinking about you. Good people to ask your parents, what do they think your strengths are? Ask some of your colleagues, ask some of your friends, ask your boss. It should be on your performance review, talking about some of the things that you really excel in. And that's your differentiation. That's what you bring to the table to add value. Okay, so that's important. That's part of your personal brand. It's what you bring to the table. It's also your first impression, right? So when you meet someone, do you look them squarely in the eye? Do you have a firm handshake? Mind you, handshakes may not be happening in the future. It might be just a firm bow or a nod or a greeting. Do you have clean nails? Do you have clean shoes? Do you wear the right clothes to represent the job that you're going to be doing? Right? So these are all the things that you talk about in your first impression. In fact, it's been stated over and over again that the first 5 seconds somebody meets you automatically determines what they think about you. And then the rest of the time, you're either proving they're right or you have to work harder to prove that they didn't get it right, right? So personal brand is also about your statement from an elevator standpoint. So let's say that you were in an elevator with your CEO or with a CEO of a company that you're targeting. How do you represent yourself? How would you take that time going up that elevator or lift to state who you are and make them remember you, right? So your personal brand needs to also be reflected in your elevator pitch. We've got awareness of your personal brand. So what are your strengths? Sometimes the way to think about that is also what are your values? What's important to you? What excites you about an opportunity? Is it challenge? Is it adventure? Is it security? Is it all about the culture, the people you want to be with? Knowing these things about you, having that time to do that self-reflection will really help. The next thing is how to manage your personal brand. Consistency is important, that when you determine that your brand is X, you need to stick with X and you need to excel and optimize and find ways to make sure that brand is promoted online and offline. Now we're talking about managing it. How do you manage your personal brand? So consistency, it needs to be authentic. You need to think about what describes you. What are some of the features that you have? So I like to use acronyms to remember things. So I'm talking about AMP for my personal brand. So awareness, management, and promotion. And then we can talk about your FAB statement, right? So when I talk about your elevator pitch, when we say FAB, we want to think about features, your achievement, and benefits. So for instance, I'm in the elevator with Ritesh Agarwal, our CEO, and Abhinav Sinha, our COO, and I haven't met them for the first time, and I want to make an impression. So, hi, my name is Erica. I head up talent acquisition for a company, and I've been in the industry now for about 20 years, focusing on hiring the very best talent in the industry. Some of the achievements: I've saved millions and millions of dollars by not utilizing agencies and ensuring we hire the best talent in the industry. And why that's important to you is because if you don't have the best talent and the most motivated talent, your company will not be able to set themselves apart and really excel in this environment. So very nice to meet you. Okay, maybe too long, but it's a starting point, right? You've got to get kind of used to how to present yourself to someone, and that would be in an interview as well, right? So if someone says, "You should tell me about yourself," right? You don't start talking about, "Well, I was born in England, and then I went to America, and then I did this." They want to know who you are, as in, why should they care? The so what, right? What is it that you bring to the table to make yourself stand out? The so what. So there we go. So making sure that you are aware, making sure that you manage your personal brand. Your personal brand needs to be the same online and offline. And we will be talking about that in the next video about your digital footprint. And then the next thing is promote yourself. So if you say that you are really strong in talent acquisition or recruiting, I'm using that as an example, of course, then I need to prove that by one, I've won awards, or I've done a blog where I've talked about certain case studies or scenarios where I've added value. Then promote yourself. Make sure you get people to go on LinkedIn and ask for recommendations. You must ask for recommendations. Ask for testimonials from people. Get recommendation letters. People are talking about you in the corridor, that they're talking about your personal brand and what you stand for. So consistency, making sure that you always come with a consistent, authentic pitch that describes you. Now, I get it. You may not be in the mindset right now to get excited about your personal brand, but the fact is, get out of your pajamas, okay? It's time to find a job. Now, many of you may go back to your previous company, but many of you may have the opportunity to think about what else they want to do. So looking for a job is a full-time job. So it's time to start thinking. You can do a lot of prep work and planning now, and then you'll be ready for when the economy booms again and everyone's looking for your skill set. You will be ready. All right. So hang in there. Join me for my next video on how to increase your digital footprint. We'll be talking about your LinkedIn profile. What should be in your LinkedIn profile? What are the settings that you should have in your LinkedIn profile? And also ego surfing. So I'll leave that till next time. Thanks so much and good luck.